Hey guys, Dave with Moniology here. Hope everyone is having a great day. Today is November 6th, 2019, and this is the Precious Metals Sector Review, Public Edition. We'll take a look at the sector from various different angles and time frames and see if we can identify the trend for the next couple of days, weeks, and months ahead. I just finished shooting and published a video that covered the top 20 names in the sector. Really, it was the top 27 because I couldn't quite narrow it down to 20. But I will say it's a very comprehensive list, and this list, if you own the entire list, you'll be really handsomely rewarded. If you own some of these names, they all should do incredibly well over the next 12 to 24 months. And I will say this. Look, a lot of folks have said $37 a month premium subscription is too expensive, especially if you're just starting out and investing, and I get that. But to that end, I've created a Patreon page that allows you to unlock all the precious metals videos, for example, for $10 a month, and all the uranium videos for $10 a month. And the thing is, if you're investing anything over $1,000 in the sector, and you're not willing to invest $10 for some guidance and education, then you have to question whether you really ought to be invested. Now, you might have your own strategy. You might be doing your own due diligence, and that's fine. But I wish I had a coach in my corner when I started investing, because it certainly would have saved me a lot more than the $10 that I lost. So anyway, let's take a look at the precious metals sector. All right, starting with gold. Gold daily chart, you see that we are in this consolidation, this bullish triangle consolidation. Now we are right below the 50-day moving average, around 1496. It remains to be seen. A lot of folks are using cycles analysis to say that we're likely headed to 1440 area. That's a possibility. I don't necessarily think that that's anywhere a lock, because if we break this particular trend line to the upside, I mean, we could be at 1570 really quick. So looking at the watch list that I just filmed, I mean, there are a lot of good looking charts right now, and those names would not be looking as strong as they are if the investors in those names expected gold to roll over. So I will say that so far this is not a bearish looking chart. And yes, there's some indecision right now. It can go either way right now. If it breaks lower, 1440. If it breaks higher, 1570, and that's basically where we're at right now. Gold weekly chart. So this is the one slight concern right now. We're at the 61 level of RSI, and that's very, very strong support. But if it breaks, then I think this bullish wedge and bullish flag likely extends all the way to that 1440 area before likely moving higher. So watching this area very closely, and if it does fall back, that's quite all right. Use opportunities on weakness to add to the sector. Here's the gold bugs index from a weekly chart. You see it's just consolidating right now, right here. So between 200 and 220 is the range that it's developed. It seems like it's struggling to break above the 61 RSI level, but I think eventually it breaks higher and heads towards that 260 to 280, 85 level sooner rather than later. So the downside is 200. The upside is 260, 285. I like the risk reward there. Gold miners, this is another index, the GDM, and you see it's consolidating here above the 720 area, and it may, on continued weakness in gold, head towards that 50 RSI level. But I think the upside here is far more than the downside. I think the downside is limited to maybe $20, $30, and the upside in the near term is we're talking 130. So I like the risk reward, and we've been in negative territory for quite some time. So I think this is likely to reverse higher sooner rather than later. Here are a couple of short-term charts. The GLD 2-hour chart. We had a nice day today. We bottomed and bottomed at that 31 level, which is where we bottomed twice before. So that's a positive sign. If there's follow through tomorrow, we need to break above that 50 RSI to have continued upside. I think at a minimum, there's probably going to be a gap fill here around that 142 area, and then at that point, we'll see if this run is over or it's just the beginning. Here are the junior miners 2-hour chart, and they look constructive, guys. I mean, we bounced off that 38 level. which is where resistance was or support was before, and where we broke down in times past, broke out in times past, and support here and here. And so, bottom line is this 38 level is important. And we broke above the 50, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. But if this is a back test and we move higher on Thursday, then I think you're going to see renewed upside in the miners. Here's junior miners daily chart, and you see that we already broke out of above this bullish triangle, and now perhaps this is a back test both in price as well as the 50 RSI level. If it's successful, then this could be that mean that we're headed towards that 43 level. If it breaks lower, then obviously, then I think the consolidation and the corrective mode is still on, probably back towards that 35 level. Junior gold miners weekly chart, and you see here broader perspective above 36. This is really good looking chart. It's consolidating between the 61 and the 50 RSI levels right now, so it's going to be interesting to watch whether we move lower, consolidate through time, or move higher. Right now, like I said, there's some indecision. My hunch is that we're moving higher rather than lower, but that conviction is not as high as it was in the past. Silver Juniors 2 hour chart broke above the 50 RSI. Now it's back testing. Can it hold and move higher, or will this roll over tomorrow? So I'm watching this closely. A follow through would go a long way towards building on the momentum of today. Silver Junior Daily. This one failed the 61 level, so pulled back. Now it's at the 50 RSI level. Found support so far today. Let's see what happens if it can hold. Then this particular trend line can break to the upside. And if it can hold, then I think we're headed back towards that $9 range. All right, here's the Silver Juniors weekly chart. And you see this is a very, very bullish consolidation above a long-term bullish breakout here. And so above $9, this is, and between $11, it's in a range right now. And it's also between the 50 and the 61 level. So watching which way it breaks, my strong hunch is that it's going to break to the upside. The question is when, and can it get to the $9 level beforehand? Absolutely, anything is possible. Look at this volume, guys. This is the sign of a new bull market without a doubt. And PPO has just crossed above zero this week, so that's a nice positive sign. Here's Palladium daily contract, and Palladium is consolidating here. I mean, it's been going up so much that it seems like it wants to break lower. But every time I say that, it continues to keep on keeping on. So I think eventually it does pull back towards that 50-day moving average around 1660, possibly as low as 1600. And I think a lot of folks will be putting that money into platinum. But in the meantime, still looking strong. Here's Palladium weekly. You see that it's in a very nice trend, and that trend is up. Here's Platinum daily, and Platinum pulled back some after failing to break above that 69 level. But if it holds above the 920 level and above this uptrend, I think it'll be fine. I fully expect it to make a run towards that 1,000 level relatively soon. Platinum weekly, you see here that it's struggling to break above this trend line here, but now you've got a well-defined trend line, and you've got support at the 13 EMA. That's around that 912 area and 913. So you've got some support now. It's consolidating, it's squeezing. Let's see what happens here. Does it break lower, or does it consolidate here and break higher? Which is my hunch will eventually happen. I still think that 1025 is a crucial area. It's been consolidating in this area for quite some time with a sharp break over here. But now that we're back in that consolidation zone, if we break above 1025, platinum can run like palladium, if not more so. Here's a gold and silver ratio. This is the one that you want to see break down. It was breaking down, but now it's starting to rally a little bit, maybe a back test before a rollover. You want to see silver breaking out against gold, and it has been doing that since July, but it hasn't broken down quite yet. A couple more ratio charts here. The majors against the metal. We're consolidating at that 50 level. If that holds, that would be very bullish. If that breaks, then I think we've got some more downside in the miners and in the metal. Here are the juniors against the metal. See, they broke out in price here, at least slightly, but momentum has not broken out. So you want to see this trend line break to the upside if you're a bull. If it breaks below 50, then you're going to see some more downside. Junior gold miners against GLD on the daily, and so today was a good day, outperformed by 1%. Let's see if this 50 day moving average holds in that ratio. Here's the silver juniors against the metal, and I like this. Look, higher lows and higher highs in momentum stair step. Now you've got the 13 EMA or the 50 EMA about to cross over above the 200, and this looks very constructive. I like the way that the silver miners are shaping up right now. All right, so silver against gold. Again, you want this to break out. It's showing a little bit of weakness, but we're watching this closely. Here's silver against gold weekly chart, and again, it needs to hold these levels around. There's uh, I think that this is just a back test before it breaks higher. But if this level starts breaking down, then I would start getting concerned that perhaps the PM move, which I'm very very big believer in, is not as strong as it appears. And here's the monthly chart, and this is why I'm so bullish on silver. I mean, you had a massive breakout here in 2016, consolidation, breakout, and now you're consolidating again. Got this symmetrical triangle that eventually breaks to the upside with a move towards 22, followed by a massive move towards 50 in the final rung of this PM move. And that's it. So silver today again bounced nicely. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Can this trend line hold from the upside? Time will tell. And here's the weekly. The weekly so far is down 2.5% and below the 60 RSI level. So that's somewhat troubling. If it can't hold that 61 level, then likely we see renewed selling in silver, perhaps all the way down to that 1675 level in the near term. And that is it for the PM review. So again, check us out, Moniology.com and patreon.com/Moniology. Thanks again for watching and all your support. Please reshare and have yourself a great rest of the day.